And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as I do every day. How are you all doing? And I'm with my buddy in crime, Mr. Chris Edwards.
Good morning. I figured I'd jump on today for Water
Yes,
Cooler
he said,
Wednesday.
let me just pop on. I was like, yes, Chris is here. Chris is
And I wasn't here
here.
Friday. We didn't talk on Monday.
Yes,
It's
been a
been
crazy,
crazy.
it's been a nonstop 3 weeks. I have to tell you, and it just gets more exciting. I got so much work to do, so many
Same
things
here.
to, and it's just, I'm glad to have the work. Don't get me wrong. I am so
Yeah.
glad that the projects are just coming like back to back to back to back, but it just requires so much work. And then I'm in
It's
the
a
middle
lot
of
of work.
moving and packing up the house and all that stuff. So, and for those that I was just telling Chris, I have a closing date. So that means I'm out on October 22nd. 22nd, I hand in the keys.
It's crazy.
Last
You
year,
manifested it though. You manifested this.
it was a thought. This year, 1 year later, literally October 22nd is the week before October 22nd is when my buddy Paul was here in New York from Namibia. And that's when I began to ask questions. I was like, well, what would life be like in Namibia? What would it be like to move to there? What would it like to be? What's there? What's expected? What's responsible? What do I need to do? And we were just walking along Central Park, hanging out. And it was a thought. It was just a thought. And I was like, if that orange man wins, I'm out.
Hmm.
And
And the ball started rolling in November.
ball started rolling, and here we are. I am out of my apartment in 3 weeks, literally in 22 days. 22 days, I will be handing
Yeah.
in the keys. And my lawyer sent me he says, are you ready for the 22nd? I said, yep, let's put it in. I said, let's put it through.
Locked and loaded.
I was like, I can't believe I'm leaving my apartment. I can't. I mean, I'm going through so many emotions. I can't even.
It's literally 3 weeks from today because the 22nd is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we know we won't have it. Well, I'll probably end up doing it that day.
I'm so. You might be doing it for the whole week.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, right, you have to really move.
I gotta. Well, that would be the last of the moves because I'm scheduled. I'm hoping to schedule the moving date to be either that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, leading into that.
You'll be out before the 22nd. You'll just hand over the keys on the 22nd.
Yeah, I'm just going in, hand the keys, get watch the money go into the account. Well, I should say out of escrow into the account. And
what a feeling that'll be.
And then I'm going to the bank today because I don't have a checkbook. I don't use checks.
Who writes checks?
I haven't written a check. I don't know when did I write checks.
I can't say the last time I wrote a check.
So I have to go to the bank to get a checkbook.
I
have a checkbook. I can go online.
But why do you need a checkbook?
Because when in the closing, I'm writing checks to all these entities. So I had to write a check to the co-op board. I had to write a check to the brokerage company. Write a check to.
You can just order like a handful. I don't think you have to order like a whole checkbook.
Yeah, I don't write checks. I haven't written a check in. I don't even know. Everything is digital for me.
Yeah, same here.
It's just O's and ones.
So the last one. I didn't write a check, but I got a cashier's check for when we moved here because they require a cashier's check.
Yeah, I already gave the co-op their first cashier check, but
why not just go get a cashier's check for whoever you have to write checks for?
Well, I don't know. Well, I guess they'll have. I'm sure maybe they will have the
Because
number.
that's instant. When you do a cash check, it's instant. Like
Yeah,
that
they
money
might
is
have
it's
it
like
that
giving
way.
them
I
money.
mean, my lawyer may end up saying, "Ron, they need cashier checks for such and such and
Yeah,
such." Prepare them.
yeah,
I don't know, but I just know there's going to require a check, and I haven't used a check. I've used cashier checks,
yeah.
but
I
I have
think
not
they'll ask for a
used
cashier's
a
check.
check.
Most people like business will prefer a cashier's check.
Yes, they always
It's
want
only
a
it's
cashier
only
check. It's
it's only a
backed.
couple dollars. So
It is free. It's free for me for my because I have a business account at Chase.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was maybe sharing my bank account and bank is maybe too much information without the numbers and stuff. But yeah. So but I do have a business account. And so it makes everything free, which is good for the most part. But I have not used a check. I just as I was cleaning out the house, I cleaned out a couple of drawers in my bedroom. I came across a watch that I thought I lost. It was my first gold Seiko leather band watch that I got while I was on Wall Street.
I was gonna say
It,
this
wa-
sounds like a Wall Street
it was
purchase.
it was a Wall Street purchase, gold face, kinetic energy watch. So this
Every
like
time you move, it would charge it.
it keeps it.
Yeah,
And
I used
I
to
was
love
like,
those.
"Oh my gosh, I thought I lost this watch. Oh my gosh." And I was like, then I found all of my fossil watches that I had stored
Oh, you
away.
were a fossil guy too.
Yeah, I used to have like all these fossil
See,
watches.
this is why we're like here.
And then I had
I had
I
tons
saw
of
my
them.
Casio watches and I said, wait a minute. And then I found my Timex watch. I was like, I didn't even know I had this stuff. And because they had another section from my swatches. I used to have all the swatch watches.
Okay.
And I had the collectors like the Atlanta Olympic watch. I had the World something watch. So every time a swatch would come out with a big celebration, I would buy one.
You buy it
during my Wall Street years. And so I have all these old watches. I was like, I wonder if they're worth anything, but but it was so good to see my kinetic watch because now when I go to if I ever go to a business affair, I can really take off this watch and wear a nice gold beautiful watch. It was one of the first major purchases I bought when I started work at the stock exchange. And that was like 35, 40 years ago. So anyways, that's where I am. Everything is nostalgic. Every time I go through a drawer, I haven't been in some of these drawers in years. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize I had it tucked away in the back of this drawer and all these old photos and stuff. This is an interesting time in my life. I have to tell you, it is more than
I can only imagine.
It's more than I could. What is it? More than I chose to bite off.
Listen, I think as the weeks start to wind down, especially that last week before you move, and like that last look back, you're gonna be very emotional because you spent a majority of your life, a good chunk of your life,
and a half years here
in that place, and it
literally.
has so many memories.
Wait a minute. October. We're in October now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now that it makes it exactly 29 years, 29 years and 10 months.
Wow.
It will be because January.
Listen, just say 30 years. I mean,
would have been 30 years.
It's a rounding error.
It's a rounding error. But anyway, the ladies are here. The ladies are here. The ladies.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's make sure we do this correctly. Ladies on top.
Ladies on top.
Good morning, beautiful ladies.
Welcome to the Brady Bunch.
Good morning.
Gwendolyn just seems defeated.
Yes, what's going on, Gwendolyn?
I'm not defeated. I'm running extra hot today. I've been
Oh,
running
Oh,
extra
okay.
hot since yesterday afternoon.
is
Like
this the M? Is that the M thing?
I'm still perimenopausal. We can say it's not a bad word. We can say it. So I'm running extra hot. So I want to be in the dark, and I cannot get cool enough. So
Wow.
we'll figure it out.
Do you have a little table fan?
I have fans all over this house. I sleep with, okay, so we had the AC at 69. There's a ceiling fan in the room, and then I have a fan on high dead on me at night. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
You sound like my husband. He
Oh.
runs very hot. So that's basically us. The air conditioners or the doors are open. The ceiling fan, and let me tell you something. I don't know where these ceiling fans came from. We bought them, whatever. But like these ceiling fans are freezing cold. We have to leave it on one, and one is cold.
On the ceiling fan?
On 4. I'm like, sir, are you trying to blow me away?
It's just circulating.
that sounds like
it's
my
really
husband.
cold.
He's like all curled up in the comforter. I was like, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm hot.
All throughout the summer, we've got the sheets, the blanket, throws, and comforters on the bed. So like during summertime, we've got like it looks like dead of winter in our apartment.
One of my good friends, she's my neighbor across the street, and we'll be at the coffee shop sitting. We'll be just having a chat, and out of nowhere, she just starts pouring in sweat. And she says, "It's the moment, Ron. It's just that moment." She says, "Menopause." She goes, "Menopause is just a demon. She's a demon."
Not a demon.
And she says, "Menopause is a demon." And she goes, and she just starts pouring in sweat. And then she's like, "I know the AC's on, and I am losing it. I'm having literally, she's melting in front of me. The sweat is pouring." She's upset now because now her underarms are starting to get sweaty. She see the sweat coming. And she says, "It's a demon, Ron. It's a demon." Menopause is a demon. But I always say when my mother was going through menopause when she was, I think I was in my 20s, maybe I was in my teenage years. I was probably in my teenage years. And my mother was always sensitive to the air when she was like, "Oh my God, did someone open up the window?" And so I would sneak up behind her and I would go like this on her neck. I would just like sneak up and go on her neck. And then she says, "Did someone open up the window?" I was cruel. That was I didn't realize I didn't realize until I was an adult how cruel that was. Because I didn't know anything about menopause when I was like 18, 19 years old. And I didn't know anything about menopause. I mean, now I have so many women in my life that tell me all about it. I mean, I have most of my family is women. So, but my neighbor, she schooled me on her condition, and she was like, "This is a demon, Ron."
It's a demon, huh?
Yes.
Good morning, y'all.
I didn't experience any hot flashes in the daytime. Never.
Really?
Wait, she said in the daytime.
And she said daytime. So
I
at
was
night.
hot at night. So it's like, why is everything so wet? The fan on in the wintertime. It's like,
I tell you, but my heart goes out to all the women out there that are going through menopause, because I have seen firsthand from my lady friends the pain, the discomfort, the anguish that they're going through.
Listen to me.
It's not easy.
The one thing I've learned is that women are strong. They're strong people.
Women go through things that we men will never.
To go from extremes, from having a period every month, childbirth, dealing with us men, and then going through menopause. It's just like a nonstop thing that you guys have to deal with. It's just like,
Lisa says she's never had any symptoms of M. Thank God. Oh,
Right.
You are blessed, because every woman I know, they've gone through it except for Lisa. Well,
Yeah.
let's say good morning to some folks since we
Yeah.
Hannah says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. Walking again this morning. Nice. This is my new regimen. I suppose to start at 10, but my other half who wants to walk with me is causing me to start late. So I
Understand that.
will listen. I will be listening and sweating. Happy day, everyone. And so the silver goes to Mr. B. He says, "Hey fam, so good to see Brian in the building." And the third in the building with the what we call the bronze is Jazzy Jazz. She says, "Good morning, beautiful people." And we got Anthony Rowland, and
I missed it. I had to go back and watch. I missed it yesterday.
it was a great interview. So Gwendolyn, our wonderful Gwendolyn here, interviewed. I should say, I'm changing that into. They had a great conversation. They had a great conversation. She and Anthony Rowland, and learned some stuff. I tell you, I was like, wow, okay, this is really good conversation going
Those
on.
interviewers, I mean, when they start asking those questions, start learning new things about people.
Anthony was sharing, and Anthony was right, transparent, and sharing some good information.
He was.
Anthony was in his comfort zone. So make sure if you have not seen Gwendolyn's interview on Small Biz Bites.
Can I say something about Gwendolyn? And I don't mean to embarrass you, but the true test of a good interview is making the person you're interviewing comfortable. And I think you do that so well. And I think part of the reason why you're so effective in it is when you start off, like those 5 little questions you might ask, those are great icebreakers, and it allows people to feel comfortable with you right off the bat. Because I know a lot of times when you bring people on, when they're not used to this format that we do every day, it could be very challenging and unnerving. So to be able to get into people's head and just make them feel relaxed, like you're just at a coffee shop talking, that's a skill. That is a skill.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Gwendolyn does, and she does. So you see how we get. Well, we've been talking forever. We talk every day or every other day. But Gwendolyn, even with me knowing her for so long, she can still get. She still is able to get stuff out of me that I haven't even talked about, and I have never. And she just knows how to do it. So my hat goes off to Gwendolyn. She's excellent.
But that's also a good sign of a good friend, also too.
Yeah, she
allows you to open up.
Yeah, she allows me to just be me.
Well, if I may, I will say when I was a hiring manager, there were a lot of people who would write and say, like, that was a really good job interview. Because if you think about it, no offense, the whole deal, tell me who you are, don't nobody care. You're here for a job. So can we just talk about like what you're bringing to the table, how much money you want, and get to the business versus all this other stuff. So I would pretty much cut to the chase and just talk about the person. And if I felt like they could bring something to the table to the team I had, I was like, great, I'm gonna offer you this job, blah, blah, blah. We call the day. Like, we don't need to jump through hoops. We know why you're here. I mean, like, can we just do it? You know what I mean? But I had a lot of people, even the folks who were way beyond my budget, say, you know what, this was a really great job interview. It's like, it is what it is.
You're good at it, though. You're good. But you're a great interviewer. I mean, you're really good with people. I mean, I've actually seen her in action at work. And Gwendolyn was able to handle her business everywhere she went. So I was like, okay, girl, do your thing.
Come on now.
Do your thing. Oh, Anthony says he remembers the Seiko Kinetic watches. Do they make them anymore? I don't know.
You never know. Anyway, they might.
I don't know. It's such a great watch because you never have to worry about a battery.
That's what I loved. I had a Fossil watch like that, and I loved it.
So, anyway, there's a lot going on in the world. So the government in America is shut down
for the first time in 6 years, and under the same president. Let's just say that.
Let's say the incompetent.
Biden didn't have a shutdown. Obama. Biden didn't have a shutdown. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't think Obama had a shutdown either. He almost had a shutdown. Did he almost have a shutdown? Boehner gave in or something?
Well, I mean, they are always on the brink of it, but no one's ever been there. And then, of course, this last Orange Menace, the last shutdown was for 30 days. It was for
30
a month,
days.
right?
Yeah, it was 30 days.
And the only reason why they cave is because the TSA people began to say call out. And
Right.
so there was no one
and
working in
rightfully so,
airports.
because
Not getting paid.
they're called mandatory. They're not getting paid. Who wants to show up to a job and
And not get
do the
paid.
hard work and not get paid?
Yeah.
Especially
Listen.
TSA people.
Yeah. They're essential workers.
Yes.
They're all classified as essential worker. Anyone that's classified as
Here's
an
the
essential
thing:
worker has to show up.
if you're classified as an essential worker, you should be getting a check. Just like, listen, the
Just
whole
like
government
Congress
shut down.
and just like the
Congress
president.
and the president are still getting paid, and they're not doing jack shit.
Right. They still get a
They're
check.
the ones that caused this, but yet and still they're getting paid money when everyone else who actually is working and didn't cause this does not get paid. Oh, child. All right, someone take over because I'm starting to feel it bubbling.
Well, before we
Okay.
go into politics and the news, first of all, I was talking about my I was going to go there, but I'm so excited because this is going to encourage me to walk even more. And my neighbor, because I've been giving my neighbors all kinds of stuff in my house, like I'm just giving things away. And so my neighbor, she was like, "Ron, do you need these?" And I got these amazing sneakers. And these, so for those that don't know, the Hokas are so comfortable. They're great for walking, great for running. I had to put them out there. And they're my favorite color. So, and she was in Spain. She just got back from Spain yesterday. And so
Oh.
Come on now.
I got my Biden shades on.
Oh my god.
They look really good.
Go, Brandon.
No, Brandon.
I got my Brandon shades. I said, I was like,
Wait,
Kelsey,
do you
thank
mean
you so
Biden?
much. Uh-huh.
Did you mean Biden?
No, Biden, yeah, because anytime you saw the
You said Brandon.
Yeah, they always used to Brandon and put them in the shades.
Oh,
when they
okay,
were-
okay.
So anyway, so that I said she just got back from Spain and they are back home, and so I was able to take some one of my photos that I did and sent it to her. She said, "Oh my gosh, you gave me a Ron Foster original." I said, "Yes, you're getting it because I watched you grow up next door." I watched her go through relationships, and now she's married, and now she's and she's an amazing travel journalist. And so we have great conversations on travel. And so I told her, I said, if you need a photographer and overseas now, let their people know I am right there. I'll be right there in Africa. You can put me anywhere you want. I'll get on the plane and go. So, but yeah, I'm like, like I said, it's an interesting period of my life. It's just like, but it's like these extremes everywhere. So anyway, back to the news. So the shutdown, I wanted to mention, so for those folks that are in the building, what you should know about the shutdown, and this is just so you know, for those that are, it says, how does this affect you? Yes, you still need to make student loan payments. Of course, you need to make that. National parks will stay partially open spaces and bathrooms. Number 3, the Smithsonian Institution's Museum National Zoo said they will use funds from the previous year to remain open to the public at least until October 6th. The majority of veteran benefits and military operations will continue to be funded. However, pay for military and civilian workers will be delayed until funding deal is reached, forcing them to work without pay. Air traffic controllers will keep working, but without pay. Social Security checks will still go out, but the Social Security Administration could face a furlough workforce. And the Department of Health and Human Services said that it's expecting more than 32,000 of its nearly 80,000 workers to be furloughed during the shutdown. And we know we also know that Trump is threatening to just outright fire.
Yeah.
and then millions of
I
federal
think that
workers. Then a
those,
million
I think
of
that's
workers.
why they want to do it.
Yeah, well, that's what they said. They're using it, they're cloaking it. Millions of federal workers won't get paid during the government shutdown, but the president and members of Congress will. So just so you know what's going on, but it's.
I
I
want
was
people
telling
to be real
Chris
clear. He will fire those people regardless.
he was going to
He's not. It's
regardless.
not about the shutdown. He was planning on. He's been firing people. So it's not
Yes.
going to be anything different. And
Hello,
people,
350,000
right.
Black women. Hello.
And people caving in or anything like that. You never, like I said, you never give in to a bully or the devil.
Can we talk about that?
Bullying, and the people never showed. Republicans didn't show up for 2 days because he told them not to.
Yes.
Why is it that these companies keep paying this man extortion money? YouTube just paid him $25 million for rightfully deplatforming him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're stupid. They're dumb. They're crazy because
he's going to come back for more.
The criminal, the bully, the extortionist always comes back. That's why the Japanese president, prime minister said, we will not bend a knee to the United States in this administration. He said because he is an extortionist.
And really, if Japan and China sold off all of their U.S. bonds, it would bankrupt this country.
We would be done. The country would be done.
So they have more power than he wants people to understand. Those two countries we are indebted to those countries.
Yes, right.
If they sell those U.S. bonds, it's done. And then
it's done. America's done.
To why they reopened after the 35 days the last time. Because what was happening? TSA people stopped showing up to work. How do you change this? Everybody stop showing up to work. Shut the country down. Let's shut the country down. It works. Because TSA workers know, and you've seen those, but they're not getting a ton of money. You know they're not paying them a ton of money to come in.
$50,000 a year maximum. I mean, most of them is 60,000. Right. Yeah.
And so you got to come in there with that same energy and do all of this work. And the reason was that they did it because you didn't go. If TSA and the air traffic controllers didn't show up to work, they would open stuff back up because how are they gonna travel? They're not driving from Tennessee and Texas to do anything.
No.
And so it takes that shows you the power that people have, and people. That's a frustrating part. How do you get people to see their power? But them shutting the government down is what he wanted. He told them not to come in for 2 days, not to even talk about it with the Democrats. Democrats showed up just to say we showed up, so you can't keep saying it as us. We were here. He told them not to talk to us. So therefore, you shut down. But the Democrats should not have and shouldn't come back and fold. Because if you fold, it's going to keep happening over and over again.
Well, you saw it. He did it before.
The first time. When Chuck Schumer folded that first time.
And Schumer should have shut it down before.
He should have let it shut down the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because they're bullies and they're the devil and the bully. They came back again because they said, oh, we made them do what we wanted to do the last time. They're going to do it again. So they got to hold their ground. But the biggest thing, I promise y'all, if people in this country, the 70 million people that voted for Kamala Harris, said we're not going to work tomorrow or the next day, everything would open up again by Friday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday. It'd be open back up by next week. I promise you.
But Americans don't know their power, and Americans allow themselves to be mistreated over and over.
Americans are
again.
lazy. Americans are lazy. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to inconvenience themselves. It's just like, you know what? Everybody got PTO time, personal time, sick time. Use it. I'm not coming to work today.
Today I'm off.
Yep. I always tell you, people don't want to be inconvenienced, uncomfortable, or take risk. They don't want to do those three. They don't want to do those three things, and they don't understand their power. Even when I listen to people, it reminded me so much of being in education, right? So when you send your child to the school, the parents say, "Okay, the school got it. School gonna do everything." When things start blowing up, well, what happened to the school? Well, what you do? And so here we are. those Democrats, those this, those that. Well, what happened to you? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And if you're crying on the other, if you voted for any of this stuff, and don't keep saying you did, you voted for all that's happening. If you voted for that man that's sitting up there, and you voted for them to control the House and the Senate, you voted for this. Don't be crying about, well, what they gonna do? What you gonna do? You did it already. This is your fault.
Right.
And if you didn't vote, you did this already.
This is really your fault.
I say Americans need to take a cue from the French. And when the French shut it down, they shut it down. When they were like going, what was it? They were going to change they were going to change their social security payments. I think it was by 1 year. I think it was just 1 year. They were just moving the needle 1 year. And the people said, we are not having it. And they shut that country down. The yellow jackets were everywhere. They shut the highways down. And someone mentioned to me, I don't know, maybe it was Elise that mentioned to me. Every week it was a different sector.
Yeah.
Every week, airlines shut down.
Yeah.
Trucks shut down. Next week, transportation underground shut down. Next, media shut down. Every week until they got that needle put back where it's supposed to be.
And they do it all the time. The French do it all the
French
time.
Don't play. The French people, not the French government.
I'm not talking about the French people. I'm talking about the French people. Because when I went there with the school group that time, there we were supposed to travel by train. The trains were on strike. So we had to have motor coaches. Because the trains were on strike. And then that's when I understood that they rotate. So this week is trains. Next week, all the airports going to be closed in France. So they rotate through it. And that's why they're so effective in it. That's why, the government listens. Because the people understand their power. And so many of them countries where they do it. What is it? Nepal? Is that where they just overthrew the government recently?
Oh, yeah. Nepal. It all came out. The whole country came out.
But that's how you make change. That's how you make change. Right. I think this country, they're too worried about, you're taking away my TikTok, you're taking away my government aid. Like, they're more worried about what's going on their phones than versus what's going on in their homes.
TikTok.
Right. And then TikTok.
They lost their minds for TikTok, but they're not losing their mind for their health care.
No.
The Democrats are standing in the gap and saying, we will not concede until you guarantee health care, continued health care for the people.
Right.
But Americans are like this.
And as someone said, they're giving Argentina $20 million when it costs, what did they say, about 30 or $35 million to continue this health care? But you giving Argentina $20 million after you claim we don't have any money, but you're giving Argentina $20 million. And then it's like, why are you giving Argentina some money? That's a different conversation, right?
Yeah,
it's America.
When I went to LA, there's this church I go out to, and the pastor said, don't flinch. One of his top things in there, he said, don't flinch. And then he said, we have to respond and not react.
Mm-hmm.
See, responding is strategic. Right now, it's time for people to our responses, our reactions are, oh my God, it's so bad. Oh my God, what are we going to do? That's a reaction. Our response is, let's do this strategically. So strategically, let's figure out, how do we get these pundits, like a Don Lemon. Don Lemon, I know the problem. I hear that. Okay, brother, I got it. Now, what's a possible solution? Don Lemon called for the people to shut the country down.
Yes, he did.
Be bold. If you want to be bold and not worry about all them ads I got to see every 10 minutes, go ahead, be bold. Because I'm not going to pay for any better access. So anyway, I got to hear about
the only way there's going to be resolution of what's going on in this country is when the people get in a place and say, we want to shut the country down. And because I'm a believer. And Elise always, she seems to always pull me to the trough. It's like but she said, she mentioned this weeks and months ago, guys, you got to shut the country down, right, Lise? As we've been saying, you've been preaching this for months now,
right? So
I hope that people around the country begin to wake up, because
I want the John Lemons and the George Reeds and all of them to stop Yes, state what the issue is, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's talk about what things we can do as people.
Shut the
They
country down.
have huge platforms. Start saying, okay, so they shut the government down. Now we need to shut the country down.
Yes,
They
right.
still gonna work because they're gonna report on the shutdown.
That's
They're
right.
still gonna get that job. They're still gonna get the money because they're being funded now by private people. That's where they're getting their resources from. They have platforms. They're gonna, because I always said this before, all of this sensational stuff, that's sexy, that's sensational. That's why they focus so much on it. And that part, let's focus on what is a good response so that these people understand the power of the people, that the power is with the people. And that's what, until we understand that, we're going to sit here in the same stew because no one with a big enough platform is saying anything but regurgitating the problem. I got the problem. I already understand that. I was here.
We understand the problem. We understand what's going on.
5 days. I live in DC. So you know I was here. So my thing is, okay, so we know that. We know all of this stuff. We also have the little bit of information of one of the reasons it stopped was why they stopped it was because TSA people started calling in sick.
That's right.
So if it worked to call in sick, what happens if millions of people
call in sick?
Called in sick.
You got a blueprint. The TSA gave us a blueprint.
Yeah, they gave you a blueprint, and people just didn't. It's time to highlight that blueprint so that people understand it took the power of them saying we're not going. For those people who run those billionaire airlines to say, hold up, wait a minute, and talk to the people that's causing the problem.
Anthony, let me just, and Lisa brought this up, and Anthony, and I see some people in the community talking about it. And Anthony says, I thought Hakeem could be a presidential candidate. I don't know now. And I have to tell you, I mean, Hakeem was my congressman for most of my life here. Most of the time he was in office as a congressman. They just changed when they rezoned, he lost our area. But I said, Hakeem, what is going in my mind? I'm like, what is going on that you yielded to the institution? Because I'm sitting here like, all of these Congress people should be out there marching, doing something, but they all been bought or they've been
money.
It's
yes.
Money. I sat there and said, how in the world do you sit on you always trying to be politically correct and trying to be nice and when these people are not nice, the people on the other side of the aisle are not there to be your friend. They don't want you to be a friend. They don't want to cooperate. They don't want to negotiate. They don't want to help any of the American people. And yet they keep, I mean, like Schumer. And that's why Schumer knows he's out. He knows as soon as his time is up.
He's on borrowed
when we
time.
start to vote in New York, he is out. A reason also, that's why they're so upset with Zoran. Because Zoran is like, we're done with the establishment. We're done with all of you. Democrats, Republicans, all of you. We're done with all of you. And it's the beginning of a maybe breaking of a fever in the country that people are now saying, we don't need none of these folks. We just want people that tell the truth, and we just want to be out there and win. And but I mean, Zoran must be a threat of some kind. When Trump, I think it was 2 days ago, said, I'm withholding all funds to New York if y'all vote for
If he
Zoran.
wins. That's a terroristic
act. Again, a bully, a threat, a bully.
That is a terroristic
bully. Extortion.
So the state of New York, withhold all your money. Let's take care of them red states.
That's what I said.
There you go.
New York City alone could take their money and say, you know what? You don't want to give us any money? You don't have to.
Can you imagine?
We got our own money. We're just not giving it to you.
New York and California did that.
Hold their money.
If New York and California did that, this country could go broke.
Yeah.
Well, the federal
We can
government
ask
could go
for it.
broke.
Well, the
Yeah,
red
that's
states would be dead in the water. They
Yeah.
would be dead in the water. There would be no health care for them. There'd be no hospitals. There'd be no roads. There'd be nothing. If the blue state said, you know what? You think you big and bad? You want to hold funds from us when we need them? We're not giving you those funds. We're going to use those funds for our own selves.
Especially when you
Yeah.
know California has the 4th largest economy in the world.
In the
That part.
world.
Yes.
Just keep your money, put in escrow over here. He wanted to be big and bad. Now do it without our money. You can't do it without their money. You cannot, because the states that support you don't have that kind of money. They get more out than they pay in all the time because they're broke. They stay broke. But I put Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker, both in the same little box for me right now. And Schumer, all of them in the box for me, because Cory Booker. He put a nail in it. If I was in New Jersey, I'd be out there screaming after he posed in that picture with Netanyahu in the back, like people can see that big bald head. I would have been done. Then I'm engaged. We don't care about your engagement, son. We don't care about nothing about Cory Booker and that. The point is that it's all money.
With Cory, when every Democrat stood against that, that was something that making Kushner's father, the ambassador.
He voted for him.
He was the only Democrat to vote for him. We were like, what the hell?
He showed up.
Cory, you just spent how many hours in the cell of the Senate, making a point, going hungry, and you just threw it all away by doing the next dumb thing. You support Kushner.
I just don't get
becoming an ambassador, a criminal, served time, that went to jail.
But all the criminals are in the government right now. They're literally it's not even a swamp. It is just like a cesspool of shitty ass people in government that have no experience.
But what kills me is when the Democrats keep yielding. There was a bill passed, what 2 weeks ago or last week? And the Democrats, the Charlie Kirk bill.
Which one?
Right, yes.
The Charlie Kirk bill.
I don't even say his name, CK, yeah.
CK. Yeah. And then these stupid Democrats went along with it. Not all of them, but 45 of them, I think it was.
And it's why. Like when people ask them why, did you see the one where the man was asking, this one man was telling, he went through and he was interviewing him and he was asking them why, and this one, they were from California. And the one guy was so livid at him. It's because that's not what this bill said. What you voted on said this. Well, no, that's what it said. He got so livid. You got livid because you knew you had been hoodwinked. You knew you had bought into that stuff. And then they want to highlight the 58 that didn't vote for it. They're glad they didn't vote for that because they held to their moral standards.
They're held to them. How? And this is why everyone in the country, I should say in the Democrats and Republican field of the old Republicans, are fed up with all of them, because in some ways, in your mind, you're saying they're all the same. And people say they're all the same.
I'll never say this.
No,
they're all. And this is what people say. I mean, no, they're not all the same. But this is what people say in the heartland. This is what they say around the country. This when you talk to people in the streets, they say they're all the same. And this is the ammunition. That is used.
You know why some of them say that? Some of them say it because they know they made a bad decision and voted for this person 3 times.
No.
That's one reason why some
didn't vote at all.
Because they know they didn't vote the last time and they're responsible.
Or didn't vote at all.
Those are the ones that say that. Those are the ones that always want to say that crap. I don't want to hear because they're not. Your life is you go back and look at the data. Democrats every time have saved this country, brought them back from the brink of death financially. Every time.
However, it is always, I mean, the Republicans never yield, but the Democrats yield. There's always a portion. I mean, I'm so glad the majority of Democrats said, no, we're not with this. But I don't understand the Cory Bookers and the Hakeem Jeffries. These are people that know the scams. They know the crap that goes on in government. They've been there.
Let me tell you what I'm going to be careful about. I'm not going to say Democrats. I'm going to call individuals out.
Okay.
Because those are individuals that made decisions.
Yes. Because like I said, they were 44.
They like to say all the Democrats. It's not about all the Democrats. Those are ones who made bad decisions. Call those people out for what they're doing and ask them. Like I said, I did call that Jeffrey's office and asked for that appointment. I still have not heard.
Still, you haven't gotten the appointment.
So, and you know he didn't have anything to do for the last 2 days. He was here doing nothing. He's just sitting around. The halls were empty. So my thing is, what do we do? But I think we have to be real careful. They're not the same. They never have been the same.
No, because look, we got the Jasmine Crockett's. We need Jasmine.
The Black people and white people, you know, the Republican Party. This is not the Republican Party of Lincoln. This Republican Party changed after Johnson and the Civil Rights Act, and they Dixiecrats joined them, and that's how they became who they are today. Let's state the history.
The Dixiecrats.
So that we understand that those aren't the Republicans who had Black people.
Those were not the Lincoln Republicans.
Reconstruction sitting in powers of position in federal government. That's not this Republican Party. This Republican Party would never do that. That's not these people. So by the time, bless your heart, Ron, by the time you joined, this was the Republican Party. So anybody that joined who was younger than I am,
I was a Republican in ignorance.
That's what I'm saying. Any Black person, anybody who joined these Republicans. Now,
I was thinking it was the Lincoln Party.
Yeah. But guess what? They've always been anti-us.
Yes.
Always. Yeah.
They have been from inception. Once those Dixiecrats rolled in there,
they
became anti-us.
And then you had some of the Dixiecrats left over in the Democrat Party.
And I refuse to let people let themselves off the hook and try to explain that to me, because I'm going to counter that and tell you exactly who you joined. Like I said, if you joined during that time when the Grand Wizard was running for president.
Behave, Elise. Behave.
Who I am behaving. I'm just calling a spade, as they say in Black culture. Call a spade a spade. But like I said, if it quacks, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, is a duck.
Okay, here's another subject. Moving right along.
Absolutely.
How do you guys feel about the best way to do it is to just share it. Hold on a second. Hold on.
He got a video.
I have the footage. I need you to, because my boy, he did it so well yesterday, and I was just like, I said, I just love Lawrence O'Donnell. I just love him.
Oh, I didn't listen to my podcast.
I just love.
But he's
Lawrence
so good.
O'Donnell.
He's so good, and he tells it like it is.
I think I know the clip. Go ahead.
And he starts out yesterday with this, and I tell you, and we're gonna chop through it real quick, but just in case some people haven't seen it in our community, because a lot of people, most people are not junkies, but like myself. But here we go.
Without legislated funding.
Let me go to the very beginning. Here we go.
The United States of America is facing an emergency tonight. And no, it is not the emergency of the clock ticking to midnight without legislated funding for the American government. We've seen that clock tick to midnight before on nights like this. The emergency the United States of America is facing tonight is an emergency the United States of America has created for the world. And that emergency is that the President of the United States, in his public appearance today, proved that he is mentally incapable and emotionally incapable of fulfilling his constitutional duties as President of the United States. In other words, there is no President of the United States as we knew it. There is no functioning intelligence, no functioning judgment mechanism within the mind of the current holder of the title, President of the United States. And that person is also the holder of the nuclear codes that could destroy the planet in seconds. And he is, much to the horror of the commanding officers of the American military who listened to him today, the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military in the history of the world. Much of the news media made the mistake of believing that all of the American commanding generals and admirals were being summoned to Quantico, Virginia, to listen to the small man of small experience who is currently the Secretary of Defense. That was obviously a fraudulent reason for demanding that all the generals and admirals fly from all over the world, leaving their command posts, to listen to a speech. It was obviously always just a setup for Donald Trump to harangue that audience with what turned out to be stream of consciousness madness, complete with hallucinations and an endless stream of pathological lies. A group of officers who earned their jobs in ways that Donald Trump never could, had to sit there and listen to a clown who stood before them in what appears to be a homemade brew of orange makeup slathered all over his face because he thinks it makes him look better. And I guess maybe we should accept Donald Trump's judgment about that one thing, that the madman orange makeup he slathers on himself makes him look better. Maybe it does. We don't know. Maybe the actual sight of the actual color of his 79-year-old skin is much worse than the orange clown confection that he chooses, but we don't know. Or maybe the orange junk on his face is yet another proof that the man has no capacity to make a judgment about anything, including the way he looks, never mind nuclear weapons. What was he thinking backstage when his Secretary of Defense, who had to promise to stop drinking to get confirmed by the Senate, insulted all of the commanding officers in the room with this kind of idiocy?
It's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are.
Okay, Pete, how about fat presidents? How about a president who has been fat every day of his political career? Is that a bad look? All of those generals can button their uniform jackets. All of those admirals can, every one of them. So there's the Secretary of Defense, who may or may not be managing his reported drinking problem, telling all of those commanding officers that they better never look as bad as Donald Trump, who can't even button his suit coat jacket. There was some suspense in the room today when Donald Trump was giving his speech. There was no suspense about would he cross the line that you never cross with the military as president and get political. Everyone knew he was going to do that. Everyone knew that he doesn't know there's a line. Everyone knew he was going to foolishly waste the admirals and generals' time telling them about how many swing states he won. And of course he did. The suspense in the room was whether the very, very tired, almost sleepy 79-year-old man at the microphone was going to make it through that 1 hour and 11-minute speech. And there were times in the middle of a sentence that it would seem like he just might drop right there, might not even finish that sentence. And what he seemed to be showing to the generals and the world is that he might not have the physical strength to make it through the 3 years, 3 months, and 20 days left of his presidency. Is that what has given J.D. Vance such a spring in his step lately? Is that why the vice president looks so happy these days? Donald Trump has never looked physically weaker or wearier than he did today. Weaker in every sense of that word, physically, mentally. Because Donald Trump is uneducable. He still doesn't understand why he walked into a room of military commanders today and faced silence.
Hi.
That was, to me, I still don't know why Lawrence O'Donnell has not been threatened, has not been kicked off the air. Jimmy Kimmel, Colbert could do nothing. They've said nothing about the Orange Man on the level that Lawrence goes in every single night sharing
Can I say something
the
about that?
stupidity of the presidency. The president,
Well,
not the presidency.
The thing with Lawrence O'Dell that he has on
O'Donnell.
his side is the fact that one, he's worked in government, all right. Two, he doesn't come in as a comedian. He comes as a journalist and speaks truth and comes with facts. When the Orange Man claimed that he had lost people in 9/11 in the towers, Lawrence Odell was one of the only people to
That's
publicly correct him on that. And he stopped doing it.
He said
he
he
did
had
it
no
again
friends.
the second time, and he did it again. So every time that he said a lie, Lawrence Odell has backed it with facts and said and called him a liar. The thing that he does is he calls a spade a spade. He comes with receipts, and there's nothing you can't combat facts and truth with more lies, because you constantly get caught. If you notice it, Lawrence Odell has never been sued by him.
No.
Why? Because he has receipts and he speaks the truth and he calls them out on it every single time. Notice that Orange Menace has never ever come for him publicly. He doesn't speak about him at all. And Lawrence O'Donnell. Sorry, why you say O'Donnell? Sorry, thank you. Comes for him every single night. Every night.
It is, but you know, when he did this yesterday, and it goes on. You want to check out the rest of Lawrence show from yesterday? He goes all in, because first of all, there was two things that happened yesterday that could have been very bad for the country.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yes.
You call all of the generals
from around the world
and put them in one building.
Yes. Right. And said where they were.
And they were all in the same, even the president was in the same building. The Department of what they call War was in the same building.
Right, because it's not technically changed. It's a nickname.
Yes, a nickname.
It's the nickname. So all of America's intelligent generals, heads that control, that support and protect this country all around the globe were all in one building.
That's never been done before.
How stupid could you possibly be?
To broadcast it.
Yes. And to say that they were going to be there. So Malcolm, I follow Malcolm Nance. Michael Nance says it must have been a field day in all of the hotels in DC this week, as all of these generals gathered and came into play. And they had, because the Russians have these devices and the Chinese have the devices. He said it was a spy heaven. Anything they wanted on these people through their phones, everyone was in one location. They were able to get all their data if it was possible. The Orange Man I'm serious, and I always say it, I will always say he's a clear and present danger.
But here's my thing. Why broadcast it? Why not have it? All right,
It's ego. Ego.
Even though we know this is craziness that you bring all these people in one location, why are you making it a public spectacle that the world can see? He rambled. About everything.
He talked about staircases, climbing the stairs.
It could have been an email. It could have been an email. It could have been a Teams call. They could have jumped on Zoom. But I agree with you, Chris. It was the ego. But then also think about, again, you have people who are not qualified in positions doing stuff. And because everybody else knows that's not what you do. Everybody else who has been in military in some shape or form or fashion knows this is not what you do. My husband knows. He's like, what are they doing? Like, wait, what? So there are a lot of people who get it, but think about who we have. Like, I think about it sometimes every other day. I'm like, these are the people who want to say that people who look like me, who have a brain like me, who have rightfully earned all of their accolades are not qualified. And then you're in there saying some of the most ridiculous stuff, thinking that just because you have a title, people are supposed to worship you and see you as a leader, which we all know you can have the title. That don't make you a leader. It doesn't make you qualified.
Absolutely.
We know that. This administration regime is stacked full with people who are not qualified, doing some really dumb stuff. I agree with you. I think it was just ego. It was like, I'm going to put all these people here who have to salute me and do whatever and give them some pep talk. But and tell all my friends too where we are, just in case somebody wants to drop a little something.
And they could have wiped out the whole head of America. American leadership could be decapitated in.
Yeah.
It could have been. And maybe some people might have been hoping for that. But I want you all to think about the visuals, right? For those career men in leadership, having to listen to somebody with a short collared shirt and a bad tie.
You in that shirt.
Because it's the worst thing I ever see. Every time I see him, that's all that I can see him, in his stupor in that short collared shirt. But the fact that you had to be in a uniform to have that occupy that space. Now I'm looking at somebody in this horrible outfit talk to me and talk down to me.
Talk down to the generals and admirals that have given their lives.
Yeah.
They've given their lives.
They don't belong here.
Yeah, place that, risk their lives and their family's life too, because of their position, right? So you have this man. First of all, you have a draft dodger.
Yes.
Twice
you have someone who only served in the National Guard.
And couldn't get a promotion.
A uniform up there to stand in front of us to say anything. You dress like this in front of us and have the audacity to tell me, first of all, you pulled me from my job, to have the audacity to tell me about how I look.
Ridiculous.
Start with that man in the mirror who can't even do chin-ups. You can't do 10 chin-ups. So let's start there. But the fact that that's the aesthetic they had to look at, and they had to look stoic.
Yeah.
Because they're not allowed to laugh. They're not allowed to moan and groan. They're not allowed to do any of those things for somebody pointing them out. And then what was the pep talk? Saying, well, you can do what I want you to do, or you can walk. If you walk out, you lose your job.
Mm-hmm.
That was my pep talk. It's a horrible situation to have somebody show up who has nothing and has been through none of the things you've been through to try to tell you what they want to do, and then to end up telling you we want our training ground to be U.S. cities.
Yes.
Well, U.S. cities
that's
as
exactly
training
what this was.
for the military.
And then told them if they didn't like what he was saying, then just retire
and lose their right.
Here's the thing. I think that if it comes down to that, these generals will eventually stand up to him. If he was to try to deploy troops across America and institute martial law, I think that would be a breaking point. Because, here's the thing. The military, they know that they have the right to not follow a command that they feel is not in the best interest of this country.
They're sworn to protect the Constitution.
Yes.
Not the President of the United States.
Right.
It's the Constitution.
So let him try. Let him try.
And against enemies, both foreign and domestic.
Domestic.
Yes.
And Trump is a domestic enemy to the country in his policies and what he's doing. I mean, having those military men come from all over the world to listen to these two mediocre men lecture.
They're not even mediocre. They're not even mediocre.
It's something lower. But
something
remember
lower. Is there another word lower than mediocre? Please, someone let me
know.
know.
Dog shit.
What'd you say?
Dog shit.
There's a new dictionary coming out from Merriam-Webster, which I plan on getting.
And remember, he has defined to them who the enemy is, the enemy within.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's not, we have to, one of the things I like to do is pay close attention to word choices.
Yes.
But at the core of everything, everybody says, why does he do it? It's not just that he's a showman. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissistic sociopath. Psychopath. He's a psychopath. He's all of the paths that come with narcissism. So a part of it is he wants to be seen no matter what. And so he'll do anything. You turn this into a show, and every time you turn it into a show, what the people on the other side doing laughing because you look so stupid. You talk about Obama climbing some stairs and him being able to do it. I can do it if I want to. No, you can't. You stumbling. You can't even walk a straight line. Sure. So you got people sitting in there for over an hour.
He can barely stay up long enough to go through any type of event. Every event that he's gone to, they've caught him sleeping.
If he had sat down, he would have fallen asleep yesterday.
Well, the whole thing is, I mean, again, the most irresponsible thing was done to have all of our generals, admirals under one roof.
Right.
And who knows
dangerous
what has happened that we don't know about with this situation. They could have released some disease or anything among all of these people here in under one umbrella. We don't know what has happened. We don't know what could have happened. But you put all of our head leaders all in one building under one roof.
For your ego.
But what could have been an email? It's like that could have been an email.
That could have been.
It's like, why did you call me?
No, hold on.
That wasn't even worth it.
No, that wasn't even an email because that could have been one of his true social posts.
True social posts.
Yeah,
he could have put that on his true social with all. That was not even worthy of
Thank you for your attention in this matter. Was it DJT? Boom. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because guess what? The news would have picked it up and put it out there. So that's all you needed.
Pretty much.
Anthony says, if Colin Powell and John McCain were still alive, they would tell Hedgehog where to go and how to get there. This is true.
Yes.
This is a disgrace. And
it's
an embarrassment on the world stage.
It's embarrassing because this is being beamed out to everyone across the world.
Country,
other countries are mocking this country at what they're doing. I mean, look at all the newspapers. It's ridiculous.
Well, people have to read outside. Like, I mean, if you get your news from outside of the U.S., then you would see just how
ridiculous. Let's
just go here. You got to know at some point. You have to know that what's happening right now is ridiculous. Like, he can't, like, that guy can't form a speech. He can't get a sentence together. No. He goes off rambling. We know that the people in the room are not going to, push back on that. And not to change the subject, but who is that chick who's doing the Comey trial? Who is seriously my cousin Vinny, who is never prosecuted.
The one that has never actually done a trial.
He's never done a trial.
This is my cousin Vinny stuff going down. I was like, I'm sorry, you're an insurance lawyer who has never prosecuted a case.
Hold on. Can we talk about that real quick? He showed up in the courtroom and both of the affidavits or
my cousin.
What do you call it? The indictments. They were signed by her and they were contradictory. She was like, and the judge was like, well, you signed both of them. Oh, but I don't know what the other one's about. You signed it. Your signature is right here.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I was watching it, and yes, I immediately thought of My Cousin Vinny, one of my favorite movies, where he's in there and they're like, have you ever prosecuted a case? You win some loser. She's never been in the courtroom. An insurance attorney has never prosecuted and then wants to walk in there like la la la. It's like what the I just sit here and say to myself, this is that bullshit right here. That was not on my bingo
cousin Vinny.
But it is my cousin. Okay, so I know you guys know My Cousin Vinny. When he's down there, he doesn't know any procedure. He knows no procedure. He was like, whatever law firm hires you, teaches you procedure. You go to law school for contracts and deals. That chick is my cousin. Literally right now.
This is our government. This is our government.
I just want to know what she wanted.
I'm like, so people are looking at me like I'm the person who's not qualified. I mean, are you kidding me right now?
Girl, and I want to know if she was one of the lawyers that was there when he got those 34 convictions, because that means she doesn't have a winning record.
My God.
No, but she is the one that was over the
she's like a personal lawyer down in Florida. They needed somebody, so her name was on it, but she didn't do anything there. Her name was just on some stuff. He's like, oh yeah, she was a beauty pageant. I'm not holding nothing against her beauty pageantry. But damn, you mean to tell me you ain't never been in the courtroom? I was like, what?
But she's the same woman who was going through the Smithsonian Museum. That's the same lady.
She went through the Smithsonian Museum.
That was her?
That's her. What's her name? Like Halogen, whatever her name is.
Ron can't get on it.
I was watching the news. I was like, holy shit, that's my cousin Vinny in real life. What the what? I didn't think it really. I really didn't. I didn't think it existed. You know, and of course, I was to go watch the movie, and I was like, yes, look what she did.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so bad it's funny. It really is. Like, you can't make this stuff. I mean, you look at like
what's
these
the
are
youth? The two youths.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You can't believe where we are in this country. You just can't.
If I may, on a serious note, though, since like, I'm not going to say she's not, I mean, she's a lawyer, but real lawyers are saying that, you know, people aren't going to touch this because they're liable to lose their license behind
That's right.
it.
They said she's going to lose her. She's going to go the way of Giuliani and all the rest of them that have lost their law licenses.
No one, like, she went in there by herself. It's like, ain't nobody touching that. We're not doing that.
No one's touching it. And she was like,
oh,
I'm going to do it because Trump said.
Well, they already told there's no case there.
There's no case.
But because and here's the thing, he publicly said, I need you to indict him. Now I need you to go indict these people. And they're going to start, you know, trying to indict these other people, and they're all going to get tossed out.
And they're wondering how she got the grand jury to get on board. So they're thinking that there was probably not something quite right done there as well. You know, it's like you got to ask yourself, I get that you want to go here and there, but how much does it really cost you? Like, it's going to cost your soul.
It's going to cost you.
Is that really what you want to do? But
she's going to lose her livelihood.
Yeah, who picked the grand jury? How it was put? The grand jury was put together so quickly.
Yes,
you got to remember how fast that grand jury was picked.
Yes,
and who and how did they push those people through? And then any judge worth their salt after she came in there like that. Well, you know, we dismissed this already, Gus.
It's already going to be. It's going to be dismissed. That's why Comey said. He said, "Bring it on. Let's see you. I'll see you in court.
What you got?
I'll see you in court."
She's like, I don't know which one that is. All I know is like there's a count, and then there were like 2 counts, and like I don't know. He said, "Ma'am, you signed it." Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah.
Like, you are working for the Department of Justice, the highest prosecution part of our government, and you sound like you're in school and you're testing theories, and a teacher is trying to talk you through how to get through this court case. It is abysmal.
This was Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, I have to say,
she made
I gained more life today on my end. You know, they say when you laugh, you add years to your life. Well, I just got an extra day. That was
like, what? She never been in court. She's never prosecuted. What? Yeah. You know, I got movies for days. I was like, that's not couldn't Vinny. Yeah.
And then I'm watching the comments, and it just got even funnier and funnier because they were like, my cousin Vinny, and then they said, what's a youth?
Two youths.
I'm
sorry, what?
And on that note,
it's just like he is, though. They said, "Oh, President, you signed that." Oh, I didn't know. I don't know what that was. You don't need an auto pen. You got an auto stupid.
Oh God!
Ron, before you wrap up, I want to and on a positive note, and something that's here on YouTube, that's a new tool that's available for us creators. So for those that are YouTube creators and want to be able to share your content like you do, like on Instagram, they have a collaboration tool now where, like, for instance, this show is live. You can and I know, Gwen, I know you do it to a certain degree, but now they've made it even easier. You can be do like an invite collab with another creator so that your videos show up on their page as well, and you'll be able to see the analytics. You'll both be able to see the analytics.
Wow,
I don't know if you can see Ron's analytics when you post this feed. Yeah, you'll be able to see that now. I actually did it for the first time this morning on one of the original conference call YouTube page to my channel as well. So they announced it, I think, last week, but it's a great tool to use.
And guess what? That'll be great for Elise. So we can start getting some people in her channel. So we can make her part of the collaboration.
It'd be
Yeah.
great.
Oh, I like
Everybody-
that.
I
Good
don't
tool.
know. I don't know if there's a limit on how many people can collab on a particular video, but
We'll
I
see.
know the tool is there, and it's actually
I
really,
like
it's
it.
actually pretty easy and usable.
Thank you, Chris. And now, for those that are in the building, let's go to. Make sure you join our email list today, and so that way you can stay and get new service updates and industry news and monthly trends and be in the know. Just go to ronlewisphotos.com. Also, I am an event photographer. If you're looking for an event photographer, just go to ronlewisphotos.com and send a little note there, and I will get back to you, and we can set up an appointment for that discussion. And again, I want to say thank you to the Patreon members. We gained a new Patreon member this week, Eric, and he is also a teacher online, and he teaches about reptiles and reptilians around the world. And he travels, and it was based in Madagascar, but he is now part of our Patreon community. So thank you, Eric, ERIK, for being a member. But also, if you want to be a member, just go to patreon.com and just put in Ron Lewis Photos, and you could become a Patreon member to support what we do here. And that would be great. And also, last but not least, you're invited to join our YouTube channel right here. Like and subscribe and be a part of the team here. Okay, the
Ron,
community.
can we do something real quick?
Yeah.
With Lisa's last comment about the air traffic controllers, I want to say to anyone who's flying, because some people already have reservations, please be patient and kind with TSA as well, because they are considered essential. And so be kind and understand that they may be a little more agitated than normal too. So show some kindness toward them if you have a flight already on deck. And definitely understand, I don't know how Newark's going to be affected by this, but, air traffic controllers, but definitely understand where they are and how they're operating. And, hopefully it won't be long, but definitely be kind to people. Just be kind in general, but definitely if you're flying, be kind to TSA agents, because they are
Especially when they're working and not getting paid.
Right, they're working and they won't get paid. So show them some kindness, be patient and kind, because that's what we need right now. We need a whole lot of patience and kindness right now, and compassion and empathy for people who are going through this experience. And of course, as I said, we need to use what they did. People need to take their power back and shut this country down. But in the meantime, be kind to anyone that are going through this and have to show up, regardless of the fact that they're not getting paid. Show kindness if you're flying. Show kindness.
Thank you. That is definitely a beautiful broadcast there, and definitely something that we should all practice. And that's really, because it's a lot of people that work for the government. It employs a third of our country, and so let's make sure we are sharing some kindness to all the folks out there. Okay, guys, tomorrow we'll have our Touch Base Daily. We'll be doing tomorrow is Thursday, right? Chris,
tomorrow's Thursday.
When Chris is here on a Wednesday, he throws me off, and I don't know if it's Thursday or what.
I thought today was Thursday to begin with, so
he threw me off this morning. I was like, wait a minute, is this Thursday? But so tomorrow we do our Trend Watch Thursday, and we'll be talking more about politics and whatever is going on. I have some news. I want to make sure that on Thursdays too, and if this is our panel and our group and discussion, that we also include some of the photography news that's out there. Since a lot of photographers do listen to this podcast and YouTube channel, that we also bring them some news, just a couple of news headlines that are happening in the photography world or in art world.
I got a great topic for tomorrow too.
Okay, so we'll share some of that tomorrow. Okay, guys, thank you so much for an amazing and a fun and lively conversation. And I am going to go check out Cousin Vinny.
Cousin Vinny.
That was priceless. Later, guys. Love y'all. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.